Kemi does these things that you're presenting something and you just put a little something for anybody who's just looking a little extra. So in the news flash where they're talking about
Eniola.
Eniola's exoneration. I think she put something about Minister of Tourism saying that COVID will not stop Dirty December.
To Roca Critic.
Critics with Receipts.
I'm Mrs. Critic.
And I'm Mr. Critic.
Today we're talking about
The King of Boys.
Yes.
The King of Boys trailer.
Uh-huh.
And our thoughts.
Yes.
And our prediction.
Mr. C, what did you see?
I think we saw that Laborious coming teaser before now. So it was like, all right, she's coming back. She's coming through the airport. People are trying to find her. Like, is she coming back through the airport openly when she's a fugitive? But from the trailer, we see that she's not a fugitive. She's been exonerated. Obviously through shady means. And now she's running for Lagos State Governor.
Yeah.
I have decided to join in the race to become the next governor of Lagos State.
I'm looking forward to seeing Nse in her role. We don't even see the governor who she's contesting against, so I don't know that the governor is as relevant as the things around him. It could be like Scandal, you know, where they had the president, but like he doesn't know shit, right? It's the people around him that are making sure the campaign's working and he's getting. But yeah, so I think we see that guy who was in the first film, who she was speaking to about it's like a political godfather. When she wanted like a political position and he was offering to put one of her children as a thing. We see a bit of him. He's just like in there for a second. So I'm sure there will be some drawback to her initial attempts to get into politics, and I'm assuming she would have made enemies of those people as well, because whoever she's currently running against is someone that the Godfathers are happy with. So she's running against them. I don't think she'll be running with their blessing. Could be wrong, but I don't think she's running with their blessing. And she's going to be fighting on two fronts. That's what it looks like. She's fighting for the political front, and she should be fighting to retain the table in the underworld. Because we see Charlie Boy's character, and they talk about how he has fractured the table or divided the table while she was away.
Odudu Bariba has divided the table.
So it's like he couldn't take over everybody, but he got some people on his side, and now he's trying to take everything and work to discredit her on the underworld side. Like,
Is this your king?
you don't know if like something might have to give. Like, are you trying to be the king of the underworld, or are you trying to rule politics, right? And are you gonna win on two fronts? Also, I'm hoping to see a more unhinged Eniola, because she is in a position where she doesn't really have anything to lose. Both her kids are dead, right? Both her kids are dead. She doesn't have a partner. She doesn't have a family, right? It's power. That's it.
Yeah.
So she can be as ruthless in his pursuit as possible, and please show me ruthless, because I've seen corpses in the trailer. I want her to do horrible, awful shit that's gonna make me feel disgusted in myself for rooting for her.
Okay. All right. So anything else?
Oh, RMD should be interesting, because I think he's gonna have like I think he will start off as a priest, but there's a scene of him that looks like a little bad guy besides the priest thing, so he's gonna go from wholesome priest to like, but he's not really important. I don't think. I think there's gonna be like a journalist trying to expose her, like the police officer in the first one that was aiming for her, because like, you know, the journalist asking like, and you know, why did they call you the king of boys, right? I think he's gonna play a role. I think he's gonna be in that investigating her exoneration, investigating her links to the drug war and stuff like that, to the underworld, because she's contesting for governor, so you should be digging dirt and shit like that. And I think there will be that, and I don't know if he's gonna go the same arc as the first film, where he fights to try and get the dirt on her, and then ends up siding with her over something or the other. It could be like, all right, she's not a very good person, but she's better than this guy, so I'm going to, you know, support her or whatever. I don't know.
Okay, what I thought, this should be a more unhinged Eniola, because she has lost everything. I think that is sort of visually shown by a Tony Tones behind her almost all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So that that angry Eniola is gonna be behind her pushing for very, very naughty things.
I don't speak whatever language that is.
She's our protagonist. She has to like come straight. There's going to be a point where Tony turns younger Eniola Salame is pushing older Eniola Salame to do something that she doesn't want to do. That's what I got from this scene.
The only reason you are running is to get even more power.
Tony Turns is basically playing her gangster Jiminy Cricket for Eniola Salame. I think there's going to be a deeper dive into like deeper social commentary on like religious leaders. There's a hint at it in the previous one because Nedu plays does he play Bishop or something in the first one?
Jesus of Nazareth.
Apostle. That's not from Jesus.
And in this one, it's RMD, and RMD is going to play a dirty priest. This one's not a speculation. There's a little clip on Netflix where Eniola is bribing RMD for his endorsement.
We have a deal?
Of course we do.
I think RMD, who is coming on as this benign but somewhat corrupt guy, also has huge, strong ties to the underworld.
Thought about where your soul will end up.
Talk about Charlie Boy fragmenting sort of the underground, and
This woman has lost respect for this table.
on one hand, she's sort of not respecting us, but then there's a younger person also who's challenging Annie.
She's old and has lost her touch.
And I think that's who the assassin is, with the scar on her face. Eniola definitely on this is fighting villains on many fronts. The definite people we know she's fighting this young girl, she's fighting Charlie Boy's character and Inse. This is also, imagine that the journalist isn't digging too deep into her, but she definitely has a lot of people to fight on or watch out for on different fronts. Kemi does these things that you're presenting something and you just put a little something for anybody who's just looking a little extra. So in the news flash where they're talking about
Eniola.
Eniola's exoneration, I think she put something about Minister of Tourism saying that COVID will not stop Dirty December. Natas is back as our basically only journalist, because she's one who was reading the news last time. Eniola Salame, we spot her in a burial thing, right?
Yeah, in a grave.
So at a cemetery. So
I'm just
it's
assuming
either
it's her visiting her kids.
it might be that, or that's Tiger's death, because Tiger's the only person left that is somewhat close to Eniola. Do you know Tiger? Tiger's her close bodyguard.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the one that was basically with her every time.
I don't want to see Eniola cry again.
But
Is
you
that
see
a
it.
bad thing?
But you see it. It's either that or somebody has reminded her of one of her children, or both. I think Makanaki is alive. There's a shot of a bright-haired person being with a crown placed on his head, and it's so quick. I feel like Kemi was trying to hide that. We never actually see him technically dead. I mean, it's well assumed. I don't know how it's going to be written back if this is true, but something to look forward to.
I'm kind of excited for it. It's like,
Yes.
it's King of Boys 2. My prediction is she might have to give up political ambition or the underworld. It's too much of a battle for one person to fight to keep. Probably rule the underworld and install somebody under her control into the political sphere. Yeah. Probably the girl who's the younger woman who is fighting to take her place. I don't know.
I don't think so. Not if you're slicing off heads.
Yeah, slice all heads for me, ma'am. Come and be my surrogate daughter.
Okay, so my take is we have a hot-headed Eniola who is going into face a lot of opposition from different sections. She's pushed to do some horrible things by her more hot-headed past, but I do think she does something a little bit more redeeming, and I think it might go exactly the way you said it would go, and that's part of what is redeeming, is that she goes, all right, So I'm not the best person. I've done too many bad things. My hand is too soiled. You should do it. You're better. You're better for this. And then just like torpedoes, maybe her and like the oppositions, the bad opposition, and then maybe let a third person who is in a better place with a nicer heart to win.
That's it, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Click like if you like the video, dislike if you don't, and subscribe if you're here to stay. Until then, see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's going to be #1 in the world. I am telling you.
That is such a cheap prediction.